Hello, this is Todd Hubbs, agricultural economist at the University of Illinois. Today I'm talking about my weekly outlook from September 23rd, 2019, anticipating September 1st stocks for soybeans and corn. Next Monday, September 30th, we're going to get the quarterly grain stocks report. And as we still struggle with what the supply and particularly the yield is going to be on corn and soybeans this year, this will be the next major report that'll give us an indication of what kind of use we saw in the fourth quarter for both soybeans and corn. I think we might see a downward revision in soybeans, mainly due to seed and residual. And I think the USDA's current projection for corn ending stocks will be pretty close, but there's a lot of uncertainty involved with both, and I'll talk about them in this presentation. So soybeans came into the fourth quarter of the 18-19 marketing year with stocks of about 1.79 billion bushels. I think we've seen imports of about 3.1 million bushels, to put a total supply at about 1.793 billion bushels. By my calculations, we crushed around 516 million bushels of soybeans in the fourth quarter and exported about 439 million bushels. All the uncertainty is really framing up on seed and residual. Typically we see a positive seed and residual in the first half of the year and negative in the second half of the year. And from my calculations through the first three quarters, we've got about 311.6 million bushels based on the June 1st stocks estimate in seed and residual. Currently, the USDA is estimating it at 164 million bushels, which implies that the fourth quarter seed and residual use will be minus 147.6 million bushels. That's a huge number, and I think it sort of suggests a possible downward revision in last year's soybean crop, just slightly, but maybe not. It may be that high. By my calculations, using the last 5 years, I've got it about minus 123 million bushels, which puts September 1st stocks, if my other use projections are correct, at 961 million bushels, which is 44 million bushels below the 1.005 billion bushels. Now, we could see seed and residual at a massive number of about minus 150 million bushels, and the stocks being near where USDA's current estimate is. But I sort of think they're probably going to revise downward slightly last year's crop. We'll see next Monday. The quarterly stocks reports help provide clarity on feed and residual use in corn. Right now this year, the USDA to hit their 5.275 billion bushel projection needs about 681 million bushels of feed and residual use in the fourth quarter. Now, we've seen lower ethanol production, so that'd be fewer feed byproducts in the fourth quarter, but maybe some wheat's been moving into the rations that could mitigate corn feed use. By my calculation, I think it's about 710 million bushels of feed and residual use, but we'll see. But that kind of elevated number will help out the September 1st corn stocks. And we'll see next Monday what the number ends up being. By my calculations, I've got September 1st corn stocks at about 2.452 billion bushels. Now, we came into the fourth quarter with June 1st stocks at 5.202 billion bushels, and I think we saw maybe around 8 million bushels of imports. It could be a little bit higher than that or lower, but that's my estimate. So that puts supply at about 5.21 billion bushels. I've estimated corn exports for the fourth quarter at 339 million bushels. Grain crush for ethanol at about 1.352 billion bushels, and use for other industrial products at about 357 million bushels. So overall, when you include the 710 million bushel estimate for feed and residual, that puts fourth quarter use at 2.758 billion bushels. If we see a significant deviation from this expectation, it means there's been a considerable adjustment of feed and residual use. It's been a while since we've seen a positive surprise in feed use in a quarter, so I wouldn't be surprised if it happened, particularly with the large herd we've got out in place. Lower ethanol crush, we could see some expansion in corn use and feed in the fourth quarter. We'll find out next Monday. Overall, I think we could see a little bit of a lower Soybean stocks in September 1st, it really comes back to the seed and residual use, and if they're going to have a huge negative number in the fourth quarter, I wouldn't be surprised if the 2018 crop got revised down slightly to meet with the estimates, but we'll see what it turns out to be. I think September 1st corn stocks are going to be in line with current USDA estimates for 18-19. So if there's any surprise in that, it comes out of feed and residual. I'd like to thank you for your time. You can find my weekly outlook and daily analysis of issues related to Corn Belt farm economics at farm.daily.illinois.edu. I look forward to seeing you around the state of Illinois.